Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to share my story with you. Most of my life, I lived in Nocherkassk. Nocherkassk is located in the Rostov region. There, I met my husband, and after 1 year and a half, he asked me to marry him. And we lived more than 5 years together. We had ups and downs, but overall, we lived well and we got on well with each other. The one problem we have is that I couldn't get pregnant. My husband had some health problems, but nevertheless, our relationship became stronger every year. Last spring, it was last days of March, I decided to go out with my friends, but I noticed that my husband is nervous. I asked him, "What's happened?" He answered me that he had something to tell me. I said, "Okay, share with me." I sat on the sofa and what he shared with me shocked me a lot. He told me that our relationship is deadlocked and he couldn't live this way anymore. I couldn't believe what I heard. My heart was breaking apart. The worst thing was that I didn't feel that he drifted away from me. Even months later, I was analyzing that evening, that event, and his words, and I was extremely surprised how he could come to such a decision. And as it turned out, later he met another woman. She had a child, and I thought she was working in my husband's company. It was a great shock for me. And at that time, my friend came from China to birth a child. And when she knew my story, she was also shocked. But she offered me to go to her to go to China with her and stay with her family there for months or more, so I could come to my senses. So the first what I needed it was to apply for visa. I applied for visa for 4 months, but consulate canceled my application. So I applied second time, and that time was better. But they opened my visa for 2 months. When I was getting ready for my trip, I thought, oh my God, 2 months, it's so long. But now, after almost a year of staying here in China, I do not think so. Well, after I got visa, mm, uh, I started to pack my bags because I didn't know how long I would stay here. I would stay there. I also thought about what would I do if I didn't like it. My friend advised me to think about all that. I just was going on a trip, and in case if I would like it, if I would like to stay, I would extend my visa. You know, to be honest, the only places where I've been before, they were Barcelona, Caella, Caella, it's in Spain, Carcassonne in Paris, and that's it. I would like to go to China because I wanted to see this country. And besides, I was planning to stay with my to stay in my friend's house, and my parents gave me money for the first time for this trip. But I was thinking about getting a job in China, and my friend told me that she had some friends who had teaching experience in China. Of course, I couldn't work on business visa, but there were a lot of who did it. Well, I will tell you about what happened in the next months, not so detailed maybe, and I just only choose the most bright events. The first event, it was how I could find a job. I will tell you how I managed to find a job on the fourth day of my staying in China. Well, actually, I started looking for a job when I was in Russia. My friend, she recommended me her friend Maria. But I forgot to mention that the most important detail is that everyone in China use the app WeChat. On this app, you can get salary, order food, communicate with friends, buy clothes. You can do a lot, really, a lot of things, and also you can be invited into teaching groups. Like me, I was invited into teachers groups, not teachers groups. In this group, you can find a job because there are a lot of offers, and these groups are full of Chinese agents who are looking for teachers for kindergartens, training centers, schools. But for schools, you need a working visa, and for all, if you want to work abroad, you need working visa, but not in China. In China, you have opportunity to work on a business visa, on student visa, on travel visa. Yeah. And but if you want to work legally, you need to prepare some documents. You need to find a school or agency who is looking for a teacher who will work legally. But if you work legally, you should be paid a lot of money, I mean salary. Also, the employer should pay for your working visa, for your flight flight, and it's too expensive. If they need Russian teacher who teach Russian in institute, the agency will pay for everything. But those agencies who I saw on WeChat, they basically need teachers who teach English language, and so even Russian teachers can teach English. But if you are not native speaker, your salary will be not so high as salary of native speakers. Well, I applied for a job to some agencies. Some of them offered something, but salary wasn't nice. And one of the agent offered me to have a job interview not far from my friend's home. I agreed. It takes me 40 minutes to get to my job. Well, I had a job interview and was hired. I got a job in international kindergarten. I work 8 to 6 and have weekends on Saturday and Sunday. I also wanted to mention that I've never worked hard as I work here in China, never. And I also started work on Saturdays now, and I can say that I am exhausted and overworked. But I deal with my work and I'm paid good. Well, when I came here, I wanted to attend some landmarks to look around, and I was so fresh, so naive girl. I understood that in my old life, I was like a couch potato. I mean, I didn't see the world. I didn't know the world. After my husband's betrayal, I started to understood people. I met different people here with different life goals. On weekends, I try to spend the time with my friend and her family. We attend different beautiful parks, temples, some landmarks. I highly recommend you to visit Guangzhou because it's quite modern city. Maybe not so modern as Singapore, but also very comfortable for life. Every weekends I try to search for new and nice place, and I have only one close friend here, and some friends with whom I can spend one evening because we don't have a lot in common. I'm not a person who likes to have a bath, or maybe because I don't have a maybe I don't have good company here. I don't know, but I can have a great time just walking in the park or reading a book, an interesting book. I can enjoy solitude and peace. I don't like when someone is and talking nonsense. I have the time of my life when I can attend opera or theater. I like it very much. Once I tried to go to the bar with my colleagues, and after it, I had a food poisoning, and I got the hospital. But when I came to China, I started getting sick every month, and then twice a month. It was awful. I had a runny nose all the time. I coughed a lot, and sometimes I had a high temperature. It was acclimatization. Only maybe after 9 months, I stopped getting sick every month. When the weather changed and it became colder, not hot. The weather changed, as you remember, in October, and it became colder. I felt much and much better. So if you want to move to China, be ready for that. Well, I also wanted to say that in Guangzhou, that Guangzhou is a famous trade city. There are a lot of markets with everything. Also because for also it famous for Canton Fair. And during the Canton Fair, millions of people from all over the world come to China for goods. So you're welcome. But I should say that Guangzhou it's very expensive city, and be ready for that. So I have to finish my story, and I want to say next: if you want to make money, come to China, even if you don't know English. But don't delay for some time, because Chinese government doesn't want to see legal in their country. So if you need money, come now. Don't wait. Don't waste your time. When I lived in Novocherkassk, I was interested in how people live in other countries. For me, they were inhabitants of another planet. But after living here for a year, I was convinced that these are the same people, and they have the same problems. They have the same affairs, concerns, and they do the same as we do. They also like our. They also like. They also live like our people, Russian people. They also enjoy life. They can be friendly or angry, and of course, we have different mentality. But I want to say that people live here, and it's great when that I have an opportunity to know them better. Thank you very much.